Okay, this is a video that I should have done a while ago, but I kept forgetting to do so. It's over the guilds in Guild Quest. I don't really remember what level you can start a guild, but I really wouldn't recommend starting your own guild at this point in the game, unless it's on a new server. Just purely because if you want to do a lot of the PvP stuff, or just progress your character to a certain point, you have to have the guild at a certain level, and it takes months to be able to build these guilds and lots of people and a lot of dedication. So to me, it seems better just to start in a guild that's already made and already kind of high up, unless you really want to deal with everything at the lower levels again. But the main thing for guilds as a member is to do your guild quest and to just donate the materials that you get. You can see the guild quest on the road to greatness, and it has this little thing that you can click, or you can click on it and go here, which take you to the base. You can also just find these NPCs. There's one here, there's one at Sulon Bridge. There's at least one in Citiser and Fort Whetstone. And I'm not really sure if they're anywhere else. But yeah, this is also how you create a guild. But as you can see, I'm already in a guild. If you want to join a guild, you press 2, and it gives you a list of the guilds. And it even tells you if it's inactive or active. So you can send a request if it's not full. Now you'll see, like, let's see if it's still doing it. Oh, it looks like they finally fixed it. But sometimes you'll see this number, which is the amount of members they have, being higher than the second number. And that's just a bug on the game. Now, of course, this is also the Darkfall server, so each server will have a different set of guilds. I would recommend a guild level 3 or higher, but unless you really know people that are in some of the lower level guilds, as you can see, most of these are inactive. You can see the lower level guilds, a lot of them are inactive. Even the higher level guilds, you have a lot of inactive ones, just because the population of this game isn't really great. At least not on our server. So just sort it by activity and try to find a guild. Like, these are fairly low level guilds. Like Archangel is, I don't think they have that many members. Yeah, they don't have that many members. Spiral Sect is one that I've only recently started seeing. No Limit has some people that are pretty good in it. Exiled's actually one of the top guilds. I'm not sure why it's this far down in activity level. Love is a PvE guild. Well, they do some PvP too, but mostly PvE. I have no idea what guild this is. I've seen them every now and then, but they only have 6 members. But yet they have 91 activity. I guess it's the lower members you have, the more activity you have. If you only have a few people doing stuff. I guess that's how it is. Not 100% sure. But yeah, anyway. You just go to one of these after you're in a guild that has a base. And after you make a guild, you have to buy a base, so it's 2 different charges right there. But once you enter the base, this is I think it's as upgraded as this can be, as these bases can be. And it does take a while to load into the bases. I don't know why it takes so much longer to load into the bases than it does an actual map, like a PvP map or something. But this is where you load in, and this is where you grab the quest. This is the 10 quest that you see, and you just grab it from this is the tavern. And then there is Run Brother, which there's daily, and then there's the weekly, which I think this is daily, this is weekly. And you need, I think it's at least 5 people for the daily and at least 9 for the weekly. but it's been broken so long and I just don't bother with it anymore. And you only get it after your guild tavern is a certain level. I want to say it was 3 or 4, but I can't really remember. Or maybe they've changed this by now. I'm not 100% sure on that. These are some things that you can buy with guild fealty and Stone of Energies. As you can tell, my fealty is really low because I keep using it. But there's 2 outfits. One is 30-day and one is permanent. The permanent, of course, takes a lot more. And that's how they look on my character, which I don't really like either of them, so meh. These are for trade runs. And then the plumstone beads for guild cultivation. Well, character cultivation. At this board is where the, I guess they're somewhat hidden quest. This one will be different generally each day. There's a variety of them that you can get. Mine today is jumping frogs. There's a matching one where you match the green boxes that have animals come out with the red boxes that have the same animal come out. There's one where you talk to the NPC, get turned into a dog, and you eat eggs. Or you attack the eggs so they don't get to the plates. There's one where you have to steal a treasure chest from wolves. There's one where you just attack. You're on this little gun and you shoot, I think they call them water balls, at these animals to get at least 2 of each type of animal. Then there's the one that you trade in fish and you talk to the NPCs and get fish. Some of them are timed, some of them aren't. And then there's this, which I call the Mollify quest. I don't know if that's what they're still called because the translations keep changing. But anyway, to start the quest, you go in here, you sit down at one of these tables. Depending on the level of your tavern, depends on how many tables there are, and depends on the level of the NPCs, but I'm not really going to get into that because that's a bit complicated and meh. But this is the max level tavern. As you can see, there's 2 levels, actually 3 levels, but at the 3rd level there's just like a randomly huge bed. And what you do is you sit at one of the tables. Doesn't matter which one, just make sure there's NPCs like these 2 guys here. You go up to a chair, you go up, you sit on it, and you give them a drink. It gives you charisma and it finishes your quest, which is here. Another thing you can do for fealty is click on this NPC and go recommend to guild, and it will give you 10 fealty. You can only do that once a day. Well, you can recommend as many times as you want, but you can only get fealty once a day, unless they finally fix that to where you can only recommend once. Mollify quests are fairly easy. You just follow the line to go from, basically you just do the auto path unless you know where the things are like I do, or just follow the little green markers. This one has me talk to 2 different places to get herbs. There's one that will have you talk to this fruit plate. There's one that talks to, I think it's this old aunt, and then you go and do water. The frogs, if you get that quest, is over here. And what you do is you want to start as soon as they pop up, and you want to try to capture them as soon as possible, because they will disappear and it will interrupt when they disappear. It can take quite a while to do this quest. And basically what that quest, which is this one, you collect 3 frogs, and it gives you these tomes and text pages and then fealty. But yeah, you want to collect 3 of them, and then you go in and turn it in. These tombs aren't really needed for the higher level guilds. If your guild is active, you don't really need to turn them in as much. I still do so for the fealty, as well as you need a certain amount of tombs to be able to make certain items, but our guild is currently maxed. I think both guilds, both hostiles are currently maxed. In Rule 0, I don't really do much with. But yeah, see, we have quite a few, but we can't get these, so we can't go to the next era. And the whole next era thing is this bar down here. And if you mouse over it, it tells you how much you need. And you have to have a certain era to be able to build certain buildings. So we can't do anything, basically. And I think that's not till server versus server. So the highest level that you can get is level 8. And I think 10 is the highest. I'm not really sure. This is our base. Level 8 guild. See, everything is level 8, basically. Funland can only be up to 2. 2 is max. Tower of Loyalty you can get up to 10 with the Assassin update. Everything else, and the Mid-Type Mine maxes at 4, everything else maxes at 8. This is the guild inventory, so you don't have to go to the NPC to open the inventory anymore. You can just click New Territory and it opens up the inventory. And you can see the resources. These are your guild's resources and maintenance. It goes to this maintenance fee. If your maintenance fee is too high and you don't need wood or mid-tight, or not mid-tight, yeah, wood or mid-tight, then these NPCs that you see here, you don't have to keep them out, and it will cost less notes. This is stuff that your guild, if you donate to this, this is actually notes and coins that can be passed out to your guild. Like the guild leader can pass it out to your guild members. This includes the Arum that is there, but this is stuck. This is just this. You get this from Guild Quest. You get it from the 10k donations that you can do a day for fealty. You get this from the Commerce Cache. You get this from trade runs. The notes here is from Star Shatter. And then Imperial Coins is what people have donated. These are also what people have donated, and there's nothing you can really do with them. If you're a guild leader, you can use them in the either upgrading the prosperity, this thing, bar down here, to the next phase if you have enough of the books and you have enough of the prosperity and everything. But I am getting way off track. Anyway, this was supposed to be about the quest. To mollify, you just talk to an NPC and click reward. I did it earlier. The second quest is to come over here to the sawmill and either talk to this little place right here, or I think it's somewhere up here. But I don't have that quest. I had the sawmill one, which basically you just follow the auto tracker. So you just click it and it takes you to where you need to be. One of the things you can do is get a certain amount of Nimbus wood a week or a day. And this is again another fealty thing. You can't collect it if you just joined the guild. You have to wait 24 hours. Same with some of the billboard quests. I think actually both billboard quests. If your guild is upgrading an item, then you will also have an upgrade quest, which again, just follow the auto path and it should take you to where it is. And it's just more fealty and notes. But again, our guild is maxed. We can't do anything. And I don't want to go on to Rule 0 and start upgrading something when there's only like 3 of us that are alt or active in that guild. Due to this being a maxed level, we can get 8 Nimbus wood, and as you can see, it has a guild allegiance. So if you collect guild or Nimbus wood in one guild and you try to donate it to another guild, it will not work. So if I grab this, get all 8, and before I donate it, I decide to leave and go back to main hostile, I'm not going to be able to donate that wood to main hostile. It will just be in my bag, because you can't donate something that has an allegiance with another guild. So, yeah. Don't try to think that, oh, I can just join this guild and then donate to this other guild. It doesn't work that way. And when you leave a guild or get kicked, it's I think it's 20% or 10% of your fealty is gone. It will tell you in the pop-up. I don't really fully remember. Once you do that, you come talk to this NPC again. And the next quest will be 2 questions. The questions will be random. Some of them are in guild or in game, some are out of the game, and technically Commerce Cash and Imperial Gold are both on here. Okay, that was weird. And some of them you'll get just blank questions, or you'll get a question with blank answers. It's my.com's, yeah. The next one is always to go defeat an enemy. What I like to do is go over here and get my second quest, Mollify quest, or reward as it's called now. This one is the fruit plate one. And then you go, there's 2 different places that the spy can be. And I am in my healing spec, so my damage is actually fairly low right now. And then I like to go back here, because there's always NPCs here. And Mollify. You can also, the other spot for the spy is over here, but the autopath takes you like up here, and the spy is really down here, just as a warning. If you're doing upgrade quest, it will be at the area that you're upgrading. You can upgrade, I think, up to 3 buildings at a time. If you have, I forgot which ones it is. Oh, these certain ones. As you can tell, there's a lot of different ones. And we can't do these yet, because we need that next era, which we can't do. But these also add money to this expenses. And the depreciation is determined by the amount of people who log in. So if you have a lot of people that aren't really active, but they log in, your depreciation is gonna be pretty bad. But that's how much this guild spends an hour. This is mid-type. You get mid-type from world bosses, guild bosses, the dragon, mid-type mine. You can have people mine, or the NPCs mining the mid-type mine, as well as you can gather a certain amount each day. For us, it's 3. For I think World 0 is 2. It just depends on the level of your mine. Wood, I've already mentioned where to get wood. The lower your NPCs, the reason that the Mollify is so something that a lot of people want done is because you see these red, that means that they are exhausted. That means that their production is really low. If you see them like this means that it can be leveled. But I think it's only like chairman and above or something like that can level them. But like you see, it's extremely exhausted. This means that its work efficiency is only 40%. And they each have skills, as you can see. And the skills do various things. I have not been really good at that type of stuff. We also have a tavern manager, which I'm not 100% sure why. Back to the quest. The next quest is the Midnight Zone. There's 2 different ones you can get here. There is the one like this, which is talk to the 2 rocks in the ground. If someone else is talking to the rock in the ground, you might as well go to the other one and do the other one first, because you can't both do it at the same time. I don't know why. It's just how the game is. The other one is talking to this like little midnight thing that comes up somewhere up here, and 3 mobs will pop out and you need to kill the mobs. This is the Midnight Mine. It's really far back. I don't want to really go all the way back because you don't really need to. And like I said, you just talk to an NPC. Oh, I forgot to do. Haha. I forgot to do my mollify. Anyway. You can get 3 Midnight for a max level guild. If you have crafting tools for both the wood and the mine, take them off or have them already dead, because it will remove your durability. The same goes for in Star Shatter when you're mining rocks and stuff in Star Shatter. It will remove the durability, so you want to take those off. You also need to make sure that you have some inventory room. Like I have quite a bit right now. But you need at least 2 to get the wood and at least 2 more to get the midnight. You can always donate them, but I'm waiting to do that to the end. You will also need at least, I think it's 2 or 3 spots to be able to finish off the quest line. Just as a warning. You go back, you turn in the quest, you talk to him again, he gives you the next one. This time I'll do my mollify as well. And you only use a little bit of the map for these quest line, or for these 10 quests. You get 1 activity point a day. It does show on statistics. This is how much Imperial coin you've donated through, well, this is today's, I think. Dailies is the 10 daily quest. You do all 10 and it gives you 1. Buildings, we don't have any buildings because we're not building anything, but if you're building something, then that's buildings. You can get, I think, 4 per building a day. Assistance is mollify. Jobs is doing your trade runs, which I'll mention that in a bit at the end. Clan Wars, how many Clan Wars you've gone to, and tournament is how many of the, I think, Friday tournaments. But this Imperial coins, what also attributes to it is the Commerce Cash. So if you donate Commerce Cash, it's also contributed as an Imperial coin. If these tombs right here only stack to 99 and you need 10 pages to be able to make 1 tomb, and these only stack to 25, and you get them mostly from the daily dragon or the weekly dragon. Your vice leader and up can summon a dragon once a week. We have not done ours because I don't know when we really do ours, but you can tell here at the Guild Funland. You go to Guild Funland. Shifty Dodgy is a mix and match game, kind of like a little game. It has 10 rounds. You get an item. You get a green pop-up, you click on the pop-up, grab the item, it tells you who you need to go to. You select that person, use the item, and you get EXP. And there's 10 rounds of it. The more people that do this, there is a ranking for it. And the higher the rank you are, the more items that you get at the end of the week, based on how well you did based on other guilds. But you can only do it once a week. Base hunt, this is... you can do once a day between noon and midnight server time. To be able to do this, you need at least 10 members on in guild base. From what we've been able to tell, it's only if you have 10 members in the guild base. And then you need to do your quest. That Run Brother quest, either the weekly or the daily, gives that, or can trigger it. Gathering midnight, gathering wood, doing the quest, any of the quests that I have been doing can trigger these bosses. Just NPCs doing it when you have 10 people in the base can sometimes also trigger it. There's 4 bosses. You need at least 10 people at each boss, or high DPS, like really high DPS, to be able to go past the timer, or it will just one-shot everyone in the area. The bosses drop mid-tight, the books, book pages, or maybe it's just the pages. Stone of Energies, Commerce Cache. I think that's all. And then you have the dragon that you can do once a week. The dragon drops actual books, the red pages, mid-tight, and basically everything that the normal ones do except for the red books as well, in a higher quality. You do want to be in a party to do that as a guild, just because whoever picks up the box will get the items. If you're not in a party, then the party members will... the only people that will get it is either the party of the person that picks it up or that person. So it really is important to be in a party. Don't be an ass and decide to try to solo everything when there's a group there, because that's just cheating your guild members out of fealty. Unless you don't plan on picking up the box. Then you have... like I said, I just finished that quest, finally, the frog one. But you can see if your guild did any of that stuff already by looking at the NPC. You can organize doing them. We don't really do guild bosses all that much in Hostile. Not that I've noticed. Hostile or Hosty, from what I can tell. It's just... they don't take that long. It's just kind of meh. A lot of people don't need fealty anymore, or they just don't care. Anyway, here's the next quest. I don't know. This quest will always ask you for some type of item, generally a medium or low grade, which you can gather yourself, or you can buy, or you can ask guild members. Some guilds will have it in the guild bank that you can pull them out. The upgrade quest for like buildings and stuff will also ask for these items. Generally it will start with the low grade and then it will go to the high grade. But it's not really something that you actually just like have to have or anything. You can buy them, or you can get them from guild members, or you can go get them yourself. They're really not that hard to get after you get a certain level in the crafting stuff. And all you need is gathering, and gathering does not take that long to make. This one is publicizing your guild. For a while it didn't say anything. Now it says this. And it says it in normal chat. And they've actually changed this like 3 times now, so it says different things. depending on what my.com wants it to say that week. I don't think there's any way you can change that. And then you go back into the base and turn it in. A lot of these are simple and they get kind of annoying after a while just having to do them. This one is Trick Your Friends, which you can be like me and click my friend Kevin here and go cute pet. Or you can go to the Tavern Inspector, go to Quest, and then hit that button. Like I said, you do need 3 things. I would recommend doing this quest anyway and do it when you first log in, because it gives you this buff that increases your HP, increases your attack, increases your healing power. And it will be for a week, or that day. So every day you can do it. If you can't do guild quest one day, but you can do it the next day, you can always accept those guild quests. That one that I just showed you, the 10 person one, 10 round one, and you can do the quest. The only thing is that the Mollify and the upgrade and basically anything from the billboard back over here, which this is where you also get the upgrade quests. Nothing from here you can do the next day as well. You might still have the quest, but it will count for that day and not the day before. But the quest from this guy, you can accept the first quest and then log out and come back the next day and do it. You can only do that twice, so the day before if you accepted the quest. If you didn't accept the quest, say you didn't log in at all, and you log in the next day, then you can't accept it a second time. You can only do it for that one day. Now just a little bit about the guild. This is, if you can't find an NPC to mollify, these are where these houses over here, this is where they are. You might be able to do them, that's where they're resting. If you go over here, there's some items you can buy for fealty. Void scrolls, wind scrolls. The wind scroll is if you've used this, return to base. These are hit buffs. I don't know if they're really all that useful at the higher levels, but the lower levels that were useful for guild bosses. General Dungeon Master certificates for 78 fealty. These are Commerce Center cash, just 8 of them for 1 stone of energy. 5-person round table, this is also another buff. It's like an EXP for like a minute or 2, and then it gives you a buff. And I think that buff is also a hit buff. You can buy Stone of Energies, Plumstone beads. Though these Plumstone beads here are still the same price as the NPC that I showed you earlier. These Plumstone beads, however, are cheaper because it's 10 for 57, which would generally be 60 because it's 6 each. And then you have rare, which can be Stone of Energy or a box of Plumstone beads. You can change this for 10 fealty, but I really don't see the point, to be honest, unless you were really after Stone of Energies. And that's just depending on, this is the noble something or other, noble treasury. It's just how much you have a chance to get depends on your guild's level and the tower of that, the level of that building. In this one you have guild cultivation, which you don't actually have to go to here anymore. This will just show you the different things that you can get. These are the Vanisher scrolls or Vanquisher scrolls, whatever, that let you teleport without having to be at a portal. This is one town portal. It lets you go to either of the town portals when it's maxed. If you don't have it maxed, and it's the first level is just Sulan, and then Fort Whetstone, and then you can get Citizen later on. You can also go to see progress, and this will pop up and it will show you all of the things that you can get. And they're just like little buffs, but they can be expensive. Like I'm on max HP and it takes 110 plumstone beads, 131 fealty, 453,150 Excelsior/EXP. Or you can use, this says gold, but it's notes, and then if you don't have enough notes, it uses gold in place of the plumstone beads. And you need to have a certain amount in here to be able to unlock these two. And I think a certain amount in Battlefield to be able to get Battlefield Advance. I think they all add to might, but it is like 400 magic armor. Might not be too much to you, but like 1k HP might be. 100 magic damage, 100 healing, 140 crit rate. I mean, that can be pretty much. That can be a lot. So you kind of want to do those when you can, and you do have to. The guildmaster does have to upgrade him. So this is your progress, and then you just go here for the guildmaster and you open them. It does cost a maintenance fee and a bit to open. This one is for your special skills, and it helps you level your special skills. This is how I have most of mine maxed. I don't have these two because I don't really care for this skill. I don't really care for. It's the new 3-star. But see, it costs 60 fealty, and then the next one costs 120 fealty. And it doesn't give all that much, but it does help you level them faster. And this is why fealty matters. Then you have guild buffs. So when you hear someone say guild buff and get your guild buffs, you go up here. This is the Tower of Loyalty. And you spin the wheel. The first one's free. The next one is... well, that says 4, but I thought it was 5. All the way up to 20. I don't think it goes past 20 fealty that it takes. But you can get all these various buffs. Of course, I just got strength on a character that does not use strength, but hey. This is crit, dodge, hit. Well, that's block, that's hit. Vigor, which is physical defense and HP. Magic defense, physical defense. Spirit, which is magical defense and healing. Physical and magic damage, dexterity, intel. So there's quite a few things you can get. You can get up to 5 a day, but you can roll it 10 times and replace some of the old buffs if you don't want them. I'm not going to waste my fealty because there's nothing to get buffs for today. And that's basically the guild base. I mean, there's not a whole lot to the base after a while. It becomes really easy to navigate and everything. If you do get one of those stipends that I was talking about, that the guild leader can give out those mats, it's up here. And you just go get stipend, and it has the amount, the time, and everything, and you just select it and click obtain. But yeah, that's guild quest and the guild base. I would recommend to do them if nothing else, but so that you can get your cultivations up. Even if you don't care about the guild, you can at least get these cultivations up. You can only get them to, I think it's 40 without a base and without a guild. With a guild, these can go up to 100, and for now these can go up to 70, but later on they are also extended to 100. And I think these are extended past 20, but I'm not 100% sure. There's also new ones coming out later on, like crit increment. Well, you already have crit, but crit increment, and there's something else. I don't remember all of them. But yeah. Oh, magic, or defense break reduction or something like that. I mean, there's a lot that are 2 or 3. I don't really remember which ones they are coming out. That last quest of what I forgot to mention is that you can get Lover's Lift or... what is that other one? A duel. Lover's Lift, you have to lift the person. And it has to be a guild member in your base. Because only guild members can get into your base, so... and it has to be in the base. You can't go out of the base and Lover's Lift someone and think it will work. Even if they're in your guild, it has to be in the base. And as well as duel. And someone else can duel you or you can duel them. You can surrender the duel. It doesn't matter. As long as you start the duel, it will end up with you finishing the quest. So, yeah. I hope those are helpful and everything. And sorry for rambling so much. I was trying to get too much into one video probably. But yeah, if you have any questions or want a more detailed video on certain things, go ahead and mention it in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one.